Welcome Big C Adventure family. Today's little tutorial is going to be starting a beginner garden. That's one of the primary things to really being self-sufficient. Hey, a garden is an adventure, especially if you've never done anything of this, but it's essential because a lot of the things that you need to spice your foods with, to just enrich any ingredients that you're doing, is going to come from your garden. So if you're going to grow chickens, or if you're going to raise chickens, if you're going to do pork, beef cow, being able to have a garden to go along with it will go a long way. So we just going to go real quick into what I have in mind, and something that I feel like is simple, easy to get started, and if you plant it, water it, it'll sprout. Land or containers, you can do multiple gardening things. In this little area right here, we have peppers, we have a strawberry plant. The strawberry plant that we got was is a fairy moss, and I'm not gonna say that this isn't a good seed brand, but out of, I'm gonna say, the 35 that I sowed, I only had one come up. That's it. That's the one. Thinking about doing and planting some more rows, but I would just take this one strawberry plant. I'm gonna go with it. And here I have a mixed variety of hot and sweet peppers. And I didn't label because I wasn't so concerned whether or not what I was getting. It's gonna be a big enough difference between my hot and sweet where it don't matter. I'm gonna know when the hot peppers come up, and I'm gonna know whether or not it's gonna be a good sweet bell pepper, you know, just by looking at it. And it's not that hard. I started all of these out of a cup. You can direct sow this and it'll come up as good. And my strawberry plant, I started in a cup, and then it was another row that I'm gonna show you later on down in the video where I direct sowed some strawberries hoping to get better results, but I didn't even have one come up. But if you want to do peppers, I recommend it. It's a good time of year. They're a hot climate plant. They love the hot weather. Even though this year, you know, in 2020, I mean, we've been having a fluctuation of, you know, hot and cool, and, you know, it's weird, needless to say. But as we move on down, in this area, I have my green beans, which is the variety that I went with. And I mean, they turned out pretty good. And I did such a small quantity because, like I say, I mean, you don't want to overwhelm yourself. If this your first time doing anything, you don't want to have more than what you can handle. And this is just learning. This is learning how to be able to pay attention to what you got, see what's working, see what's not working. I mean, as you're gonna see on down, I could have done things a whole lot better, but it's the first time. I planted and started my first garden 4 years ago, and you know, I learned, but now I'm planting something totally different. So now I'm learning all over again. And what I can do is, from the years of experience that I'm getting, I can just learn how to make this garden suit me. And that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna make your garden suit you. You're gonna put the vegetables and fruits in there that you wanna eat, just the same. And I mean, I went with this blend once again right here far as my green beans. And then I put a dash of marigolds, which I bought from Lowe's. I didn't direct seed these, I just planted those. And you know, they're doing good. I'm losing some buds, but then I have them blossoming back out just like they should. And this big plant right here, I'm gonna get to it because you can't help but see it. This is a squash now. I went with this squash plant. And I'll put a picture to show you the 2 squash that I got off of it already. But this is the squash that I went with. And it's doing fantastic. I mean, I didn't expect for it to get this big, but it's not even done growing yet. So as you can tell, I put a lot of stuff right here on top of each other. And here in front of me is my tomato plants. Started this from seed, got it out of a cup, and this is, you know, what I have. And this is down here. This is the tomatoes that I planted. And I planted tomatoes the first year, didn't do any good, so I'm gonna see this year. The first year I did them in buckets. I did my tomatoes in buckets to see if I could do it. And they went and they grew, but they just didn't do as good as I thought they would. So this time I'm gonna plant them directly in the ground and see what I got from there. But before I forget, if you can look, got a couple of green beans on here. Got a couple of green beans. They're about ready to be picked. They are about ready to be picked. And another thing, even if you do it small and you don't have a lot of green bean plants, whatever you do right now, you still can mix it in with stuff that you get from the store. Because last week, I didn't have enough green beans, so instead of wasting them, my wife, when she cooked, she just cut them up and added them into the green beans that, you know, came in a can. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, you're learning, you're doing this for the first time. You're just trying to be successful in what you do and you learn from there. Biggest thing is, don't overwhelm yourself. Come on down. We got some pea plants right here, some peas. You see my makeshift trellis. I got a long tomato stake, a vertical tomato stake, and then I just put some chicken wire around it. I mean, you don't have to go and buy all of this fancy stuff and spend a lot of money when you're learning. Now, once you start being able to see what you can do, then you can go out and increase your inventory on stuff that will actually be more productive, be more sturdy. Like I say, I mean, wind come, wind blow. You could knock this over, but I'm learning, and this is what I had, because these peas, they need something to grow up on in order for them to be good. And I got a couple of pea pies on them. So, it's liking it, it's not complaining. He just wants something to crawl on. And I gave it to him. Look at this one down here, look at that. I mean, let's get some peas in it. We're gonna have us some sweet peas. Yes, we will. Then here goes some onions. Some green onions right here. Here you go, some Walla Walla onions. Right here. And then I just planted flowers in between them. Give it a little bit of character. Give it a eye grabber, something, you know, pretty to look at. But I mean, when you see these squash bloom open, these big, beautiful buds that they produce, I mean, they're beautiful. They are beautiful. Even these peas got some beautiful little white flowers on them as well. These peas, they got some flowers. Got some beautiful little white flowers on them. So more squash, 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 squash. And then right here, I planted 2 cucumbers. I planted 2 cucumbers right in here. Bush variety. Look at them flowers down off in there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Everywhere you see a flower, there is going to be a cucumber. Some more tomato plants. Starting to get some little blossoms right here on this tomato plant. See, it's starting to get some little blossoms. But also, this whole row right here, before I even decided to get these tomato plants, because this came from my stepmom right here, this tomato plant and this tomato plant right here, I both got from my stepmom. And this was supposed to be a strawberry. As you can tell, no strawberries came. So I decided to plant some tomatoes. This marigold. This is the blend of marigolds. And believe it or not, I didn't expect for them to get this big. I guess I should have paid attention to how big this gets, but as you can tell, this is going to be a giant plant. And over here, it's my okra. It's the okra blend that I did. Right here, here's my okra. As you can tell, my okra is doing fantastic. Fantastic. I even see some actual okra starting to form right in here. check us out. Got our first cucumber. First cucumber, it's about ready. It is about ready. And you see how many more is coming? Everywhere you see a flower, there's gonna be a cucumber. Some more okra. This fabulous corn. Look at this corn. Look at it. And another thing's corn. I mean, it's growing wonderfully. I mean, I got some ones that's not growing as good, but hey, for the most part, really trying to do corn better than I did the first go around. It looked like it's doing good. First go around, I think I didn't fertilize as I should. And I've been trying to keep up with fertilizer, trying to make sure that I put just the right amount of fertilizer down to where it don't have to really be starving for any nutrition, you know, because corn is like grass, it loves nitrogen. So I've been making sure that I've been consistent on coming in every so often and putting down the nitrogen as needed for them. And I mean, it's growing. It is growing.